trust Gypsy. She knows that I trusted her. But I was insecure with her. She made me that way. All right, I just saw somebody saying she told you over and over she wanted some other dudes. Okay. Gypsy would get in moments where she would be curious about something else, okay? But then when I would say, if that's what you want, okay. But then she'd say, no, I want to be with you. So you can read whatever you want, but don't give me that shit, because you did not hear our conversations.
So here's the scoop. Ryan Anderson, yes, that Ryan, Gypsy's ex, is busy turning his life into one giant gossip channel. He has been going live every single day. Seriously, is this his new job now? And baby, his latest live stream was the messiest one yet. According to Ryan, Gypsy has been calling him nonstop. Not once, not twice, but allegedly 8 times back to back. 8! That is not a pocket dial, darling. That is desperation with capital D. And get this, Ryan swears up and down that he didn't answer any of those calls. Shocking considering his history of clinging on for dear life. If that's true, Ryan might finally be showing us a speck of growth. But let's not crown him a hero just yet. But the internet being the internet, folks in the chat weren't about to let that slide. Someone asked the million-dollar question. If Gypsy's blowing up your phone, does that mean Ken isn't really her match? And Ryan's response? He practically smirked into the camera and said, yeah, I don't think Ken is her person either. Whew. Shots fired right there in front of hundreds of people. Then Ryan dropped an even juicier detail. He suggested this isn't even new behavior. Oh no, he claimed Gypsy has been playing this little ping pong game for a while. When she's happy with Ken, Ryan's on the shelf. But when Ken isn't showering her with enough attention, suddenly her phone is lighting up Ryan's line like Times Square on New Year's Eve. According to him, he's basically her backup plan, her safety net. And honestly, that explains a lot about why he just can't seem to move on, even 2 years after their breakup. Now here's where Ryan really flipped the table. He dragged Gypsy's content hustle. Yep, he went straight for her cameo career. He accused her of selling generic, lazy videos that barely last 25 seconds and said fans aren't even getting their money's worth. Meanwhile, he puffed up his own chest and bragged that his cameos are 5 to 6 minutes long, personalized, and apparently authentic. To top it off, he flashed his glowing 5-star ratings like badges of honor. The shade was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But wait, he didn't stop there. He even called out Cameo itself, accusing the platform of letting Gypsy skate by breaking guidelines. His solution? He told fans he might just go independent. Translation, Ryan basically wants to turn being Gypsy's ex into his own personal cottage industry. And just when you thought the teapot was empty, oh honey, the kettle boiled right over. The wildest rumors started making the rounds. Gypsy allegedly caused a woman named Mia to lose her job. Yes, Mia, someone who wasn't even part of this tangled love drama, but got caught in the crossfire. Here's how the whispers go. Gypsy and Ken reportedly showed up at Mia's job, and just like clockwork, their oh-so-romantic fairy tale turned into fireworks. Witnesses claim they got into a huge fight right there in public, and the tea gets scalding. People allege Gypsy even lashed out at Ken physically, leaving him with a black eye. Messy, with a capital M. The fallout? Mia, poor thing, supposedly lost her job because of the chaos that went down on her turf. Imagine risking your paycheck all because 2 lovebirds brought their soap opera into your workplace. If true, that's brutal. So now we've got a full circus. Gypsy allegedly calling her ex 8 times like he's still the main man, Ryan shading her business while hyping up his own, cameos turning into a clapback competition, and poor Mia losing her job because Gypsy and Ken can't keep their fights behind closed doors. Fans are now split in the comments section, arguing over who's telling the truth. Some ride with Ryan, saying Gypsy's the puppet master keeping him trapped in her orbit. Others think Ryan's milking this drama for clout because, well, attention is a drug too. And looming over it all is the million-dollar cliffhanger. What does this mean for Gypsy and Ken? Are they done? Are they patching things up behind the scenes? Or is Ryan right and Ken is just not her person? Because let's get real, nobody calls an ex 8 times in one shot unless something is seriously wrong at home. And just when you thought the Mia saga couldn't get any messier, here comes a fresh round of whispers making the rounds online, and all the plot thickens. So apparently, the word on the street was that Gypsy and Ken stormed into Mia's workplace, went at it like an episode of Jerry Springer, and Gypsy allegedly left Ken with a black eye right then and there. And the fallout? Boom. Mia supposedly lost her job over the chaos. Can you believe a whole career derailed because of someone else's messy love battle? But wait. Christy swooped in like she always does, shouting, not true at all. And honestly, for once, people were like, okay, maybe she's right. Even some of the biggest Gypsy critics had to admit that the story sounded outlandish. Like, seriously, getting fired because your boss's workplace turned into Gypsy's octagon with Ken in the middle? Even for this circus, that feels like a stretch. But hold up, because the rumor mill wasn't finished. Next came a new gossip drop. Apparently, Mia was fired, but not from some fight fallout. Nope, the tea here is that she got canned from her labor and delivery job and has since popped up at a dermatologist office, which, excuse me? Like, how does one go from delivering newborns to skincare so fast? Fans were left scratching their heads asking, was this a transfer, a demotion, a cover-up, or is it just Gypsy's shadow drama following Mia wherever she goes? And of course, the TikTok sleuths jumped right in with their magnifying glasses. They pointed out that Mia has been vlogging from her job, catching get ready with me moments and filming inside the hospital. Now listen, TikTok trends are one thing, but the hospital? That's a whole different level. Because let's be real, when patients can't film their own care, but a nurse is spinning ring lights and pressing record in the middle of labor and delivery, hello, red flags. HIPAA violations, anyone? People in the comments were quick to say they've seen nurses fired before for exactly this kind of thing. So honestly, the social media at work angle feels way more believable than a Gypsy Ken brawl that cost Mia her job. And yet, because this is Gypsy World TM, nothing is ever clear-cut. Christy keeps screaming, not true at all. And honestly, for once, people were like, okay, maybe she's right. Even some of the biggest Gypsy critics had to admit that the story sounded outlandish. Like, seriously, getting fired because your boss's workplace turned into Gypsy's octagon with Ken in the middle? And that's what makes it so addicting. This isn't just drama anymore. It's a merry-go-round of secrets, lies, TikTok investigations, and constant finger-pointing. The only thing left to ask is whose truth are we even watching anymore? And that's the latest tea, y'all. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next messy update. Because trust me, this drama is far from over.